Welcome everybody to Service Drive Revolution in your Friday drive-by. You know, on these drive-bys, we talk a lot about business and strategy, but some of the feedback that I get from you is about the personal things, the stories that I share, and the vulnerability sometimes that happens in the stories that we talk about. And so I've put together a series for you that is the secret to you being successful, probably more than anything else. And it's the 5 pillars of self-care. I want you to think about something for a second. Whenever you get on an airplane and they're going through the little safety check, you know, where they tell you how to buckle your seatbelt. I always feel like when they do that if somebody doesn't know how to buckle their seatbelt, they probably shouldn't be on the flight, but they go through that. But one thing that they explain when they go through the safety measures is that if there is a drop in cabin pressure and the oxygen masks fall from the ceiling and you're with a little kid, you should put your mask on first before you help the kid. Now, it makes sense that a lot of people would think, oh, I'm gonna put the mask on my kid first because I would sacrifice myself for my kid. But what really happens in that sort of an emergency scenario is you have 2 or 3 seconds before you're gonna pass out because the oxygen is out of the plane in 2 or 3 seconds. And so if you don't put your mask on first, you can't help anybody else. And I think it's the same thing with self-care, is if you don't take care of yourself and you don't apply these 5 pillars, you're not going to be good for anybody else. You're not going to be good for the business, for your employees, for your family, for anything, because you're not taking care of yourself. So that's the 5 pillars of self-care, and we're going to go through one each Friday on our drive-bys. Now, the first one that I want to talk about is your physical self-care. And there's a quote here: don't take your health for granted. Don't take your body for granted. Do something today that communicates to your body that you desire to care for it. Tomorrow is not promised. And that's Jada Pinkett Smith. It's a great quote. So what are you doing to take care of yourself physically? And there's 2 parts to taking care of yourself physically. One is exercise and stretching, feeling good physically, having good posture, feeling good mentally because you work out, and being healthy, having energy, right? When you work out and you're taking care of yourself, you're going to have more energy. You're going to be more alert. You can give more. You can pay attention. You can process things better. So let me ask you a question. What is it that you're doing for yourself to take care of your physical health? Are you going to the gym? A lot of us in our industry are showing up to work right on time. We're working all day. We're skipping lunch. We're eating at our desks. I remember when I was an advisor, I would eat pizza at my desk. Like, that's literally what I was eating every day. So I would eat junk food off of the gut truck, right? And then pizza. And then I wouldn't get home until 6:30 or 7, and I would go to a bar and have a couple beers and eat nachos or whatever their happy hour was. And then I would pass out and go to sleep. And I gained lots of weight. I was really unhealthy. And then I flipped the script. I did a couple things. One is I started meal prepping on Sundays. I started preparing my food ahead of time. Now it's so easy. You can have these delivery services where somebody else will just deliver your meals for you. It's usually the same price or cheaper than what you could buy it for and make it yourself. So you can have somebody else do that now. But back when I was a service advisor 100 years ago, I meal prepped myself. And then I made a deal with my boss that if my numbers were in a certain place, I could take an hour and a half for lunch, and I started going to the gym. Do you think my numbers went up or went down when I took an hour and a half for lunch instead of working through my lunch? My numbers actually went up. I had more energy, I had more hustle, and I was more engaging with customers. I was having more fun. It was contagious. I was more charismatic because I felt good about myself. And you got to make it a priority. Another thing I've shared often, but I'll remind you again, is pay for a trainer. If you pay for a trainer, you'll go, and then you'll learn good form. It's on the trainer to get you in shape. So they'll create a plan for you. You show up, you just put in the work and you leave. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to read books about it. It's just done for you, right? So you could have somebody do your meals and it wouldn't cost you any more. You're going to invest a little bit in yourself with a personal trainer, but just imagine how good you're going to feel when you're getting in shape and you feel healthy. Now, the first week you're not going to feel good. You're going to be really, really sore, but take glutamine and it'll help you with that. Now, the second part of physical self-care is your look. How do you look? Maybe during this COVID thing, you need a haircut. Maybe you need to get your nails done. But two things happen when you pay attention to how you look: manicure, hair, new clothes that are ironed, dry cleaning instead of washing them all in a bundle, right? People perceive you differently, but most importantly, you perceive yourself differently. You feel good. I tell a story sometimes about a friend of mine that was trying on a Tom Ford coat, and he was like, hey, if I'm wearing this coat, or girl's gonna know, he was single at the time, or girl's gonna know that this is a Tom Ford coat. And the salesperson, the great Duke, said, no, probably not. But what's important is that you'll know, you'll feel good, and you'll have confidence. So what are you doing for your physical self-care? Are you working out? Are you stretching? Do you feel good physically, mentally? Are you making time for yourself? Are you making yourself a priority? Are you making yourself an afterthought? Remember the analogy I gave you at the beginning about the oxygen in the airplane. If you're not taking care of yourself first, you can't take care of everybody else. And then maybe a massage, a haircut. What are you doing to make yourself radiate and feel good? Think about it. Let's change it up next week. Let's get in some workouts. Let's get a haircut. Let's do something to make ourselves feel good and watch how it changes your trajectory. It's good stuff. Pay attention to it. Okay, so that's our Friday drive-by. Lots of food for thought. And now, stay tuned for a preview from next week's Service Drive Revolution.
Next week on Service Drive Revolution.
Today, we're going to go through my favorite marketing books. You deserve to have crazy results. I lost count of how many F-bombs.
Yeah, more than 62.
I've noticed around the office since then, everybody's swearing a lot more. And I literally locked up. There's gonna be some surprises in there.
And so now I'm a TikTok addict, and I've got lingo. I have got swag. The days of getting a dealership off of a handshake and a smile are gone.
And this is just about understanding the deeper psychology of what motivates people. Did you understand what he was trying to say?
No. Why do you think blonde jokes are so short?
Have you thought about doing your jokes on TikTok, or?
What would be funny is to run it over 5 different TikTok jokes and never tell the punchline.
Funny to who?
Just me.
Thanks for watching this week's Drive-By. I hope we gave you something to think about over the weekend. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.